seen things you people wouldn't believe.
All right, guys, here we are with good friend, dear friend, owner and founder of Value Electronics, Mr. Robert and Wendy Zone of Value Electronics. Robert, Wendy, how are you today?
Thank you. We're all great, and we're so happy you're here with us. Thank you.
I actually have Wendy on camera.
Yes.
It's very hard to capture her and Leanne on camera. The team is almost all here in frame.
That's right.
Robert, what are we looking at today?
Well, much to our very happy surprise, Samsung has succeeded the beautiful QN90B with the new flagship QN95B. So this TV was not originally slated for the US, it was just going to be for Asia and parts of Europe. And Samsung was persuaded to bring the flagship model into the US market as well. So it's a little bit of a later introduction. It's available in 55-inch, 65-inch, 75-inch, and 85-inch. And we have all of them in stock. And today we're going to be opening up and putting on display the 65-inch. And then early next week, we have quite a few of the 85 inches. We're going to put one of them on the wall. And we'll have it lined up right next to the X95K, the Z9K. We'll have a QN900B. And we're going to put all the 85 inches on the wall to review them together next to each other with you, Brian, of course.
We're also very excited to have the QN95B because it will be in Value Electronics Shootout. Give me a little information on the shootout, Robert, while we have people here watching.
Thank you. Our 2022 shootout, which will be our 19th annual shootout, will be July 30th for the 4K event. And then Sunday, July 31st, we're going to do just the 8K premium TVs. The QN95B will be included in the 4K shootout Saturday, July 30th in New York City. It'll be live webcast worldwide. You'll be doing monitoring as well.
Yep.
With a lot of Q&A, and very exciting event this year. So this beautiful TV, in fact, if this passes our QC, this will be the exact model that'll be in the TV shootout.
Yeah, it's actually the only reason, right, Wendy, that we're not unboxing the 85 today is we might as well QC it while we're setting it up and then do the professional QC for the shootout.
That's correct.
Otherwise, we would be showing you the 85, but the 65 is going to be in the shootout anyway.
That's correct.
But interesting here for Samsung QD OLED, I have the S95B behind me. The S95 QD OLED will also be in the shootout as well. There's a killer lineup for the 4K shootout. How about the 8K, Robert? While we have you here, we'll have what in the 8K shootout this year?
So there are only 3 TVs in the 8K shootout, and they are Samsung's QN900B, the new Samsung 8K, of course, and these are all going to be in the 85-inch class.
Yeah, our favorite size.
Yeah, we're also going to have Sony's new Z9K.
Yep.
They're both mini LEDs. They'll have the backlight master drive and the XR processor in their Z9K, both 85-inch. And then we'll have the LG 88-inch Z2 as well in the 8K class. So those 3 TVs will be competing against each other.
Yep, which you can see on the channel, which we are unboxing either before or after, depending on when we release this. But Robert, I'm very excited to see Samsung's lineup this year. The QN95B was kind of rumored to be coming out.
Yes.
And I'm so glad you guys have it. We'll get the unboxing done with the help of Robert, Wendy, and Leanne. Robert and Wendy, thank you so much, as always.
Very good. Let this unboxing begin.
Yeah, let's do that first start, Wendy. There we go.
That's nice. And I can tell you the stand is in there. That was heavy.
That's heavy, right?
Yeah. The stand is in here. So that's the base of the stand.
Yeah, Samsung's such quality with their stands. Very
Very
heavy.
nice, very nice.
Center stand.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
Robert, here we are opening the One Connect.
A very slim, new, low profile. Very slim and very elegant.
I think the last time we saw one that size was the QN900A, but I think it was thick,
I like
right?
this piece.
Wow, very nice. It's got the gaming inputs on it.
So for those that want the HDMI and USB and other inputs to be near the TV, you could just put this on the back of the television, or it could be separated from the TV.
And then just one cable out?
One cable.
Always love the One Connect box.
And put this in the cabinet with the equipment.
Yep. Excellent.
Very good.
Here we are looking at the rest of the contents. We'll show that later that come within the box and a bit of cable management. We'll take a look at the panel as it's still in the bottom of the carton. It is mini LED, which is still relatively thick, but like a lot of Samsung's products of the higher end, it is very premium. The back, to show you where the One Connect box does connect via one cable. As Leanne, the third member of the Value Electronics team, so nice to have her on camera. I love seeing the actuators of these higher end Samsung panels. They do move as the audio comes out. The back design is closer to the 900B and 900A than the QN90B. I do have a smaller QN90B here on loan from Value Electronics, and it has more of a plastic back, but I do prefer that design over the material used for the back of this panel. We are showing the different ways to assemble the stand. What I do like what we're seeing from manufacturers these years is you can screw in one part and then connect it by lifting and placing it in. This is also where the One Connect box can lay against the back of the panel, which is being shown by Wendy, being held by Leanne. This then does lay on the back of the stand if you want to have it close to the TV. As Leanne is demonstrating here, it would place right there in the tray and lay there in the design. Samsung love the center stand. For them, very quality, very premium, and very heavy. Just be careful that once you attach these stands, as we're doing here, as Leanne is doing, that to lift the panel from the body, but then also get one hand, if you can, on the stand, as the stands are very heavy. So once we attach it here and we lift it, we do make sure that one of us is holding the actual stand, as it will pull the body down. We saw this on the 100-inch QN90A last year. The stand was very heavy. Here are the contents of the bag. You have your solar-powered remote. There is also the longer cable, which is very long, in fact, where you can keep the One Connect box farther from your setup. Here's the best part, is having Leanne pull the plastic off. I'll leave some of the sound in here for that. Leanne, by the way, sets up most of these panels and assembles most of the stands. Thank you so much for your help, Leanne. When we're done with the unboxing, I will take it back into the projection theater room, so we are in complete darkness. But this is how the panel looks all set up. I do like the center stand. As we run through the setup of the QN90B, I am not a huge fan of Tizen. I am someone who has the Samsung Hub at home. I do like to skip a lot of this, but it is the same as the other Samsung displays this year. What is arduous with Samsung is going through their settings, trying to disable a lot of the ecosystem. We'll show that once we are done doing our setup, is going through and trying to disable, and a lot of manufacturers are doing that these days, disabling the ambient light modes, the eco modes. They're not always in the same place. I noticed this with the Q900R 8K a number of years ago. It was rather difficult to find. Now, I will update this panel. This panel is being updated. This will be in the shootout. It would need to be updated and calibrated. Due to time constraints, I wasn't able to show you an update before and after. So the panel is up to date. And I will speak on this even 9 minutes into the video. Samsung, in my opinion, could have dominated this TV year between the QN90B and the S95B QD OLED. I do feel the hampering of updates is compromising some of the picture quality. The S95B has brought more accurate updates. However, the QN90B, it's hard to know what you're really looking at. As we've seen from some users, the updates have compromised the local dimming. I don't see that here. But what I'm looking for in this video is an appreciable difference from the QN90B. I do think it looks very good. When you look at Samsung, you are thinking vibrancy, color, volume, and saturation. Now, what you're seeing here is literally out of the box. It is in its standard preset. We will move into filmmaker mode after this demo shows. But I will tell you, as somebody who reviews these and as somebody who owns them, I don't love having my fingers crossed whenever I apply an update. I want to be able to show you the best picture quality possible, and I just want these updates to not hamper or change image quality. But I needed to, if I was going to show it to you, show you it with its current update, and it seems like it's fine. These are not easy demos for LEDs. I, for one, am very impressed with the QN90B. I have the 43-inch here, and I absolutely love it. As we run through some of the settings here, you'll see me move from its standard preset. We'll show you Vivid and the other presets. And then we will move into filmmaker mode for the remainder of this video. Dynamic, standard, movie, and then filmmaker mode. It's also important when watching YouTube is to actually go into the color space and also change it to HDR. We double check that and we are good there. That's something Samsung has to also get better at, is auto color space doesn't always put it in the proper color space for HDR. But it does look fantastic. The balance with LEDs will always be peak brightness, saturation, but maintaining contrast ratio. Meaning that peak brightness, vibrancy matters very little without the contrast ratio. I will have a separate video coming up in the next few days on Samsung and their place this year. Special thanks to Jennifer Gala and the HDR Super Channel. Check out their information below. Thank you for letting us use your content, Jennifer. Wonderful content by Jennifer. And special thank you to Value Electronics for not only allowing me to film the QN95B, but also for unboxing it and demoing it today. Check the description below for all of their information, and please consider making your next AV purchase through them. Let them know that I sent you. They will take very good care of you. Jennifer's demo material is exquisite. You can check again the description for her channels. Please subscribe to those. In regards to Robert, Wendy, and Leanne, always great getting all three of them in camera as that team. Other than their technicians, the three of them are the heart and soul of the company. And as I mentioned many times with the stands and assemblies, it's Wendy and Leanne showing me how to assemble a lot of these displays. Plus, they are total pros at unboxing and reboxing these panels, as they do offer QC and calibration. The vibrancy of Samsung, that is their signature, saturation. And I feel like a lot of their panels in the last year or so have done better with accuracy out of the box, as long as you get out of those dynamic and standard presets. Their filmmaker modes tend to fall right in. They'll look more saturated on camera, but the blacks are excellent. Samsung has a different way of managing blacks than their fiercest competitor, being Sony. But didn't notice any black crush. They do retain detail. At least I noticed that this year. Again, having the QN90B, using it every day, I'm very pleasantly happy with it. It'll be very interesting this year at the shootout to see how the QN95 and the S95 and the 900B fare in the shootout this year. QD OLED turned the world upside down this year, earlier in the TV year. Kind of pushing the QN90B out of the focus, and I hadn't seen the QN90B until recently, and I was actually blown away by it. I love the panel. Now, as far as appreciable difference between the QN90B, I don't see a big difference at all. This is a larger panel, but the One Connect box and the design might be a reason for many of you to choose it. It is considered the true flagship to the 4K lineup in regards to mini LED. I believe, like Sony, the S95B is considered separate, and the flagship for 4K is probably the S95B in the QD OLED, and then here in the mini LED 4K flagship would be the QN95B. But I would think if you have the Q90B and you're watching this, I would feel very comfortable if you still have the Q90B and you're happy with it. I don't feel you're missing anything from the design. It does sound very good, so perhaps those actuators are doing more. However, I don't have a QN90B of the same size to compare. But from what I can see picture quality wise, I would think the QN90B is probably virtually the same, other than the design, the sound, and the One Connect box. Which is a shame, because the One Connect box to me is excellent. Having the separate cords here, one that can place it right behind the panel and one to move it very far from the panel, is excellent. Having 144 Hz gameplay is also a huge, out of the box, I think, without having a customized resolution, is also important. Samsung has been cutting edge in regards to gaming for many, many years. Considered they started the gaming optimizer, I would put them ahead of LG as far as their innovation. Having ultra wide and having 144 Hertz. Having VRR probably before anyone else. I think as far back as the QN90 or Q90R maybe. But it looks fantastic. Again, the blacks are manageable. Very, very little blooming, while having a nice high peak brightness without washing out the image. Again, amazing year for Samsung. QD OLED out of nowhere. Excellent flagship in the QN90B and QN95B. Again, the challenge I have with them this year is the constant updates, and things have been backwards this year, as I've not had a chance to see the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. But from what I can see from the QN90, QN95, and here the QN95B, excellent panel, beautiful design, excellent sound, fantastic gaming image and gaming features. I will return before the shootout to get gaming on the QN95. But again, it behaves very much like the QN90B has, which is excellent. My thoughts on it, however, are, other than the design and perhaps the sound, and more importantly, the One Connect box, the QN90B is more than adequate. They are very similar from what I can tell picture quality wise. But there will be more testing to see if that is accurate or not. Again, this panel will be calibrated before it jumps into the shootout, and we will have those numbers for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, special thank you to Value Electronics. You will see much more content from me, tech therapy videos, gaming videos. We will move away from TVs a bit and get back into other content, but I'm looking forward to the future and of the channel. I really appreciate you guys being there and watching. Let me know what you think of Samsung this year. Again, we will have a tech therapy video on Samsung specifically in the next few days. Let me know what your thoughts are, how they've performed this year or how they performed this year, and who you think the winner of the Value Electronics Shootout will be, both 4K and 8K. Put your predictions below. But what a year from them. We'll finish up with some of Jennifer's content. But Samsung, again, the largest company in the TV company, the largest share, they do continue to innovate, design, picture quality, move into some skin tones. Again, we are in filmmaker mode. But it does look very good. And this is even after filming the 8K Z2. Very pleased with it. All right, guys. Thank you again for watching. See you in the comments. Love you guys. Take care.